Gary, we'll start with the bad news for Jordan Cranston. Was that what you were fearing when you were speaking to Pete on Saturday?
Yeah, it's always what you fear until you don't really know the extent of an injury and until you get a MRI scan. And we knew that was coming, and all you hope is when it comes back, it's good news because it's only 3 or 4 weeks. But obviously, this was the worst news for us and for Jordan, of course, because it's a long-term injury, and he would be a difficult one to replace. And
there's been a maturity about his play and his performances this season. Is there a maturity that can now help him deal with that as well?
Yeah, I think so. He was very disappointed when he was told, of course, because he knows that this was an important year for him. It's the year that you can go home after training, after games, knowing that you've cracked it. You've got your game going, you've got your confidence. The lads respect you, the supporters now respect you, and the press respect you. It's like 1 minute you're in a really good place and the next minute you're not. And for a footballer, you have to be ready to take all that, and hopefully he is.
Apart from that incident and his injury, I suppose what you're looking for is same hunger, same desire with the performance this week away at the league leaders.
Yeah, well, they haven't lost at home, I don't think. They haven't in the league. And so, of course, it'll be a difficult game, but it's one that most of the bookies will have Notts County as the favourites. So we can go there as the underdogs, no real pressure. We're not going to muck up. Well, we hope to muck up a few coupons, but we hope that we can go there and produce a game that gives them a good game. And if we can pick up 3 points, I think I said this about Luton last week. I think we're actually ahead of Notts County at the moment on the last 8 games, as far as points are concerned. So I'll show that to the lads and say, look, form-wise, you're above them. So let's believe that we can go there and get a result.
And what is it they do that has got them to the start of the top of the table? Because presumably, their start was obviously better than yours. That's why they're up there. But they've obviously kept that going pretty well. Yeah,
they have. Well, they managed to get a good experienced team for this level early, same as Luton. As you say, they got going. They started well, and they've kept that going. And they've got a good squad. So any injuries they get, they can bring in quality first team players, sort of thing. So that always helps if you've got that 20 odd first team players.
But you look at how Cheltenham have raised themselves. You think when you took on Wickham and they were top 5 last week against Luton. So you're doing all right against those top teams, aren't you?
Yeah, Mansfield, Swindon. Yeah, we're doing all right, and that's what I'll be reminding them in our meetings today and tomorrow. That we mustn't fear anything. We've got to go there, play our game, because our game seems to be causing the top teams a problem.
We talked about Jordan. How big an opportunity is this for Danilo O'Shaughnessy? Presumably he'd be the next in line.
Yeah, he is, and I'm pleased for him, really. Very sad with Jordan, but I'm pleased because Dan's been unlucky because of Jordan's good form. And he's worked hard, he's kept in there, he hasn't been knocking on my door every other day. And, he's kept quiet, but he's gone about his work and he's deserved his chance. And what I've noticed in the reserve games, as well as the first team games that he's played, he puts all his effort into these games. So I'm pleased he's got his chance for him, and it's up to him now to have a good second part of the season to make sure that he keeps his place.
I suppose make sure that you mightn't buy someone in January as well, and sort of put down a statement there.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's a footballer's life. Always, when you think things are going well and you're in the team, suddenly the manager brings in another person to compete for your position, and we probably have got to do that because we've got to have two people at least, if we can, to compete for every position.
Apart from Jordan, obviously in the treatment room. Everyone else okay?
Yeah, well, yeah, we got a couple of niggles, as always, as you do, and we're just waiting, for a couple more days to see who's actually 100% fit. I don't really want to put out there who might not be fit, but anyway, we've got a couple of niggles. We'll have to wait and see how they come through.
Finally, Gary, the BBC's Price of Football survey's out today. Cheltenham do pretty well in it, as you'd expect most League Two clubs to do, but the worrying thing seems to be that people, the age of your players, don't seem to be getting into football. Have you got any thoughts on what the game can do to make sure that future generations aren't lost?
Supporters, do you mean?
Yeah.
Well, no, I think the only way to do it is to have a winning team that's top of the league, that's going for a promotion. That's when you suddenly get all your young lads, that want to get behind the goal and join the singers, and very enthusiastic, if you like. That's how you get people in. You've got to try and get in the younger lads, the real young lads, if you like, so that they stick around. Most people say, I've been supporting this club for 40 years. We need a few of them to start now. And in 40 years' time, they'll be saying, 40 years I've been supporting this club. So, listen, as a manager, all you can do is try and put out the best team that you can, a competitive team, one that supporters respect, and one that there's an affinity between the players and the supporters. I mean, the players go to hospitals, they go to schools, they do so much and I'm sure, when people are ready, you can't drag them in. When they're ready, they'll come. So you just got to keep doing what you're doing. I don't think there's any hard and fast rule about bringing them in, other than what I've just said there.